This is the KoperCrabb Podcast.
I'm Cheney Crab.
I am Naveen Copperweiss.
If you would like to submit questions for us to answer on the podcast, then you can email us at KoperCrabbPodcast@gmail.com. That's KoperCrabb podcast@gmail.com. You can join our Discord and submit a question there, or just join the Discord community, period, because the community that we have going over there is so cool, and you can be a part of awesome music discussions, just chatting about, whatever. People are posting their instruments over there. We even have a lobster tank to find your perfect match in life. If you would like to call in to the podcast.
Someone's going to meet the love of their life in there, dude.
I think so. I have high hopes.
Seriously, man.
You can call into the podcast at 615-314-5053 with a question, a comment. We will play it on the podcast. If you would like to buy Entheos merch, that is our band. Naveen and I are in a band called Entheos. I'm a vocalist. Naveen plays guitar and plays drums. More importantly, the drummer. Yeah. Then you can go and buy our merch at www.entheosstore.com, or you can buy KoperCrabb merch for the podcast at www.kopercrabb.bigcartel.com. Also, we are playing some Christmas shows with Lorna Shore right before Christmas, I guess. It's not at the end of December. 1 second, I'm going to grab those dates.
We've got the 20th going down in New Jersey.
Oh, no.
20th is Worcester.
Oh.
Yeah, 20th. Naveen was trying to spin those right off the dome. I saw that. Yeah. So that's with Lorna Shore, Currents, Rivers of Nile, Varials, and Entheos. It starts December 20th at the Palladium in Worcester, Mass. December 21st, Long Island, New York at the Paramount, and December 22nd in Sayreville, New Jersey at Starland Ballroom. And if you do not already have tickets for that December 22nd show, then you're SOL because it's sold out, man. So get on buying tickets to the other two shows because those probably will sell out as well.
That's going to be so fun, man.
Yeah, I'm
really
really
looking
excited.
forward to that.
Christmas shows are fun. There's there's a cool spirit to it. I don't know. We've played a few Christmas shows. We did Whitechapel's last year and a couple years ago. And we also did Winds of Plague was that San Diego?
Oh, that was a Christmas show.
That was a Christmas show. Yeah, there were Christmas props.
It didn't feel very
on
Christmassy
stage
because we were in California. So.
And also it was an entire 10-day long tour, so it didn't really have but it was with Spite and the Zenith Passage and Winds of Plague. It was super sick.
It's also kind of cool to go out for 3 days. That'll be kind of fun because you won't really, it's not like you're on tour. Mm-hmm. You just kind of are doing a run. That's what I call that.
I think everyone calls that
well, not really. Back in the day, we would encounter, you would encounter bands that said they were going on tour, but really they just did like a weekend of shows.
Yeah, I think that still happens.
Yeah. It was kind of like an offense in my mind.
Yeah, that's
like 3 days. You could not eat for 3 days and you'd be like, fine.
Yeah, it's the ultimate, it was the ultimate faux pas to call your 3-day run a tour.
Just a run. Anything under, 3 weeks?
Anything under 3 weeks?
Yeah, anything under 3 weeks is a run.
Yeah, I hesitate.
I hate to say that, but that's just.
We've done a couple of 10-day runs, and I have a tough time calling those a tour.
I had a tough time calling the Revocation Unearthed thing a tour.
I know, and that was 23 days long.
I was calling that a run.
Well, it seemed like...
That's integrity right there.
It's like, this is a run, man. Anything under 3 weeks, it's a run. It seemed like a run because we didn't have any days off. And it's kind of rare to not have days off at this point. Most of the tours that we do have a Monday off. So Sundays are roadie Fridays. It's the little tour lingo for you all.
Tour lingo for you guys. But you know what? Actually, after being on that run, I kind of want to call that a tour.
That was a tour.
It felt like a long time.
It was a tour. I think that it seemed like a run because it only hit the East Coast and went up through like the middle of Canada.
I think that's why I have the hesitation to call it a tour, is because it was really restricted in where it was.
Yeah, but it hit.
You're not going all the way to the East Coast and back to the West. That's a tour. A tour is you circle the whole, country.
Yeah, and in this one, we just kind of circled the East Coast because we went up to New York and then came back down through Nashville and through Florida and went back up to New York and through Canada.
Yeah.
So
good time,
nonetheless. Those are the logistics, and don't you dare call it anything under 3 weeks.
If you're going on a 3-day road trip, don't call that a tour.
That's not a tour.
No.
If it's in a pickup truck and it's a 3-day long. Yeah. Hey, I've been on a lot of those runs.
Dude, the first Animosity shows out of town were 2 cars.
Yeah. Is that a tour?
We did not call it a tour.
Is it a tour in 2 cars? So does the vehicle matter?
I think the vehicle... Well, I've been on tour with some bands that were in a 4Runner.
What the hell's a 4Runner?
Like a Toyota 4Runner. Like a
Harrison, can you pull up a picture of that and put it on the screen for me? A Toyota 4Runner.
There is a tour that I did, a full tour. Summer Slaughter. And one of the bands was in an SUV.
Really? Mm-hmm. Do you want to name drop the band? No.
It was Vital Remains.
They were in an SUV?
Yeah.
Okay, well...
No hate or anything. It's just they're in an SUV. Yeah. I don't know what that's like to tour for 6 weeks in an SUV.
I wonder if they're getting hotels a lot.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. That would be the way to do it.
They would have to leave early a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait, do 4Runners take longer to get somewhere?
I think maybe because they wanted to get a head start and maybe get a hotel. I'm not really sure.
I think that happens more often on festivals, like huge lineups where bands will leave early.
I mean, I've done a portion of a tour in an SUV with Dustin.
Oh, because the Animals van broke down or something?
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah.
So what happened?
So we were on Animals as Leaders, did a tour with Dillinger Escape Plan. Mm-hmm. And we just didn't have a van. And the tour, what happened? It was something really, I can't really remember the specifics, but I know that Dustin, our friend, mutual friend of me and Cheney, he drove from Des Moines to get us in Washington, D.C. And then we had to do the first week of the tour.
In his car?
Yeah.
Oh, I know the car.
And we went into freaking Canada.
I know the car we're talking about here now. Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, the red Ford, I think it was red.
So I guess you would save a bunch of money in gas, right? But whose instruments are you playing?
We had the trailer hooked up to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so we went, we went with his car, and we had to, I think it went to Canada. So we went into Canada with the freaking, we played in New York City with the thing, went into Canada. The trailer tire blew out.
Oh my God.
And we're in, the middle of freaking nowhere in Canada. And then we left.
Canada, not much stuff in it.
Yeah, a lot of space.
A lot of space there.
A lot of space.
Seriously. A lot of stuff to be built.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of
potential.
Potential. Yeah.
I mean, if you like wide open space.
Canada's the place for you. And moose.
Yeah, totally.
If you like moose and
very
mountains.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
Very beautiful place.
Canada is beautiful, though I wouldn't know because most of the time when I'm driving through the beautiful places, it's the middle of the night and I'm asleep. And we're on a 2-lane highway.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid for my life. And I'm just shivering under a blanket because I'm having driving anxiety. True. And I'm scared that I'm going to run into a moose like my friends
it sound like you're driving.
Oh, no. And I'm hiding under a blanket at the same time. No, I don't
Cheney
drive.
Doesn't drive.
I don't drive.
So.
No, I don't do that.
Her license is in good standing, but she just doesn't drive.
Yeah, it's not my thing. It's not my niche.
So what was
genre.
Actually funny about having the 4Runner in Canada was that, so for the whole band up until that point, Tosin was like, oh yeah, my license is expired. I can't drive.
Oh, right.
And
yeah,
so
that's a good excuse.
Yeah, so as soon as we got into Canada, they were like, there's no DMV here, dude. Jump in and then we were like, you're fucking driving,
right,
dude.
Tosin is the driver now on this tour.
Yeah, so we're like, you're fucking driving. Anyway, so we're going to the first show. Tire blows out. Mm-hmm. We just leave the trailer.
Wait, while Tosin is driving?
I don't know.
See, so this is something that I'm also horrified of, is the tire blowing out while we're driving. So is that what happened while you were driving?
I don't know.
Oh my, Naveen, how have you forgotten? Really?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I've played hundreds of shows since then.
I mean, if a tire blew out, then I would probably... What do you think, Harrison?
Not really. When the tire blows out on the trailer, it's not as eventful as you think.
Oh, okay.
You don't even notice it, and then after a while, you're like, oh, shit, the tire's blown out.
Okay, that was going to be my question, though, because I'm horrified of, like, what's going to happen within the van if the tire trailer...
It's like, whoa! Like you're going on. It's not like that.
No! And then you run into a moose, and you're in the...
Yeah. No, you're just driving, and then it starts to feel a little bumpy, and you look in the rearview mirror, and the tire's busted.
Okay, so it's more like there might be something. Could someone check the tire? There might be something wrong.
100%.
Which happens 100%. Almost every day. Yeah.
So the tire blows out, we pull over, and then we just left the trailer on the side of the road with all of our stuff. And that was a really rough go-through on the Canadian border.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the time that they made me unload the trailer.
Oh, no.
Like, that's the only time in my whole life. They're like, yeah, take it all out, dude. We're just checking through here, man. And then they found all the merch.
Oh, no.
We had to pay like $400 and like tax.
See, this is the thing that I'm coming to realize is that if you just are honest with the border people, I feel like this happens in general. They're just, they like you a little more if you're completely honest with them. And they're a little more willing to work with you.
Yeah.
So... when it comes to that kind of stuff, and we realized last time when we were driving through the border, because here's the thing, everyone's scared that they're going to be taxed on all the merch.
Yeah. So going through the border is a huge thing.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
Everyone's scared of it.
Yeah.
Or I am, at least. It's really scary.
And sometimes people have the tendency to, stretch the truth a little bit about how much merch they might have on them. But I think it's better to just be honest. Just write it all out and just give them the paper. They're just trying to get through their work day the same as you are.
I'm thinking about going fully legit next time.
Just
straight legit. Manifest. Here you go, man.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. So when you go through the Canadian border, when you're in a touring band vehicle, you've got a trailer. It's obvious you have a bunch of stuff on you and, instruments and whatever. They want a list of everything that you have on you. And they want a list, a manifest of the merch that you can sell. Because they want you to pay taxes on it.
Which doesn't make a ton of sense, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say the tour starts and we're going into Canada. I'm going to have tons of merch that I'm not going to sell in Canada.
Yeah.
But I guess there's no way to prove it. So it just is what it is.
Well, we talked to the border crossing lady last time, and the tax isn't really that crazy.
It's not that crazy.
It's not that crazy of a number. But
it's the tax on the cost of the merch.
Right. But we have heard legend of bands going through the border and losing a bunch of money because they weren't honest with the, border crossing. So I think it's better probably to just be honest and...
dumb. Honest and dumb. That's what you should do. Be really stupid. Appear to
Which
be stupid.
we kind of... Yeah. We don't really know what we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. It's not an act.
We're just kind of winging it.
Can you let me in, please? I really want to go play these shows.
Yeah. Please. Canada's so fun to play. Just let us in.
I know.
That's really what I want to say to the border agent. Please, we just like it here.
Harrison, was that your first time in Canada on the Revocation tour?
I mean, not technically, but I don't remember when I was in there before. I was 2. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
you had like a layover
so yes,
there
it was.
No, I was there for like a week.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. So, yes.
So what did you think of it? Was it everything that you...
It was pretty cool. I think my favorite time was I have a friend up in Toronto, and he took me out to see some of the city after the show. It took me to a bar where he knew the bartender, and they just both worked on getting me really drunk.
All right, so Harrison's favorite part of Canada, free drinks. There we go. There we go.
I remember that. He showed up all drunk. I was like, what's going on here?
It's a rare occasion. So it's a rare occasion, which is funny. I want to bring this up because I asked Harrison this the other day at Thanksgiving, because you've been on 2 tours with us now. And I wanted to know what the most surprising part of tour was to you. So share with the people, Harrison.
I said for you guys, I think it's the professionalism, because you hear all these stories about, especially in the early days of like rock bands touring and like just drugs and alcohol galore and people staying up till like 4 a.m. partying and whatnot. And, you know, with this band, it's, you know, everyone's really clean and
we are clean. We are one of the cleanest bands.
We're a clean band. Have you looked into any other bands' rigs?
Yeah, I don't want to name names, but I think that's one of the reasons why I don't want to go as a full-time lighting director and get stuck in another band where, you know, I haven't showered in 13 days and I'm stuck in a van with other people who haven't showered in that long. And
we also have 2 girls in the crew.
Yeah, we prioritize showering.
I mean, it's going to smell less bad in the van.
That's true. I think that we put forth a...
Dare I say our van does not smell bad.
No, it doesn't. And there were a couple of times on this last tour, I like to clean out our van if I get a chance and like light some incense. I love having incense and good smelling stuff. And Rob's all about like that Dove spray. I like that Dove spray. So we keep it smelling good in the Entheos van.
It's a nice van.
Sometimes it's messy, but I'm just generally sort of a like messy person. I wouldn't say that I'm like messy, but I've got my stuff like scattered, you know, and then I clean it up at the end of the day.
I would say that you're very, very messy.
Oh, thanks.
That's what I would say.
But I'm not messy with like food and stuff.
Yeah,
you know? It's just
not dirty.
Stuff. Yeah, I'm not dirty.
You're not dirty.
There we go. I'm scattered, but that's for sure.
Let me finish that story though.
Yeah, sorry.
So we get into Canada. We're driving in the 4Runner. We miss the trailer pops a tire. We leave it on the side of the road and we go to, you know, find a Walmart or whatever. And we get a new one and somehow we got it replaced. And then by the time we made it to the show, the band over us was already playing. So we missed our slot.
Oh,
and everyone was like, you guys suck. You know, fuck you guys. You missed the show. They were pissed at us. And then so there was a few Canada shows. The next night, someone bashes the window out of Dustin's car. Like,
what?
Yeah. I think they stole his radio. Old school.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Canada is supposed to be known for its kindness. Where was this?
It was in Montreal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so then we're driving home, and this is Dustin's personal car.
Right.
And he's driving, and there's no window here, right? And we're driving back through into USA, and it's just downpour.
Oh no!
And he's driving like this, and it's just rain in his face. And dude, he was so bummed, and I was just cracking up, dude. I was just laughing so hard.
Wow, what
because
a good
it was just such a hilarious scene.
You just needed a good song to go with it, like that. Having a bad day.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible, and I was just cracking up.
All right.
But anyway, we finished the tour somehow. We got a van or something.
Oh, you got a van. So you drove his car back to Des Moines, Iowa?
No, I think we went back to, I honestly don't really know, but I think we went back to DC and left it there and then got a van.
See, this is the type
It was crazy.
This is the type of delusion it takes to be a touring individual for several decades of your life. So if you're interested in the lifestyle, then just buckle up, kids, because a lot of crazy shit happens.
Well, so in Animosity, my first band, we just had like the singer Leo was really pro, and he just went and bought a van. So we just always had a van. You know, we dealt with a crappy van for a little while, and then we got a good van. So by the time I was in Animals, I already toured with Animosity for 5 years or maybe more, and I was just like, wow. This is not how you do it.
And that was when we started Entheos. That was a top priority, right? So
for me, I was like, I'm gonna buy a van.
The first thing that we did was went and bought a van.
That's the van that's parked in the driveway.
And we still have it to this day. It's Old Faithful. We take care of it. We get it checked up before
300,000 miles. So hopefully it. It's starting to worry me just because it's so old.
Well, don't say that. We've got some cool tours next year though. We don't want the van to. So we'll get it worked on.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get through. But yeah, speaking of tour, we were thinking of continuing.
Drum roll.
The tour dates.
Drum roll. Yeah, there we go.
Continuing the tour dates
from the Whitechapel tour.
Whitechapel tour
from 7 months ago.
Yeah, 7 months plus.
So we're gonna do our best to recall the days of the tour.
Yeah, we did in fact do the whole Europe, right? We
did in fact.
All right.
So let's hurry up and get through this and then revocation before we forget about all of these tours. And we have.
How long are we running for here?
20 minutes.
Okay. And for those of you who don't know, we
have a new cat.
We do have a new cat. He's sleeping. Thank God.
No, he's right.
Nope, he's in here.
Oh, shit.
He's lurking.
Oh, no.
He loves being around us, so I'm just waiting for him to.
He's my orbit.
Yeah.
I was going to say we are back on Twitch, I guess. Kind of.
Yeah. I guess we're back. We kind of like it. We made the decision. I guess we talked about all of this in the pre-show, but we did a couple of podcasts not on Twitch because we thought maybe that we preferred doing them not on Twitch. And also we just we couldn't line up and do the podcast on a Tuesday specifically. So we tried doing it for a few weeks on YouTube and we realized, wow, we're really attached to Twitch. We like it.
We miss the Twitchers.
We miss the Twitchers, and it's really fun to check in with everyone and have the pre-show and catch up a little bit, and then we'll have the post-show where we hang a little harder even. But so if you're listening to this and you're not on Twitch, then make sure to go to twitch.tv/KoperCrabb and, subscribe to our Twitch. We're going to start trying to do a better job of posting clips on the KoperCrabb thing. Instagram and Facebook and, posting them on our personal pages and getting I've been trying to get more people in the Discord.
Dude, come on.
Yeah.
Attention golden lobsters, dude.
Can anyone
Somebody
cut
should cut clips and fucking post them to our Instagram for us.
I assure you, it's pretty damn easy to find a funny clip because me and Naveen are so hilarious and we're always saying funny things all the time. So it's pretty easy. So if anyone out there wants a job.
Okay, so
a really
we don't have that many dates to go through. Amber has informed us that we left off at Denver.
All right. So let's talk about Denver. I can't even remember where we played in Denver. This is going to be hard.
Yeah, I know. It's so long ago.
I do have a picture of each venue.
Oh, wait. We know exactly where we played in Denver. We played
we
at
left off
Marquee.
there? Like we didn't talk about Denver, or we talked about it?
We can talk about Denver just in case.
So a refresher.
So, yeah.
All right.
I think we already talked about Denver because I'm remembering that we talked about the basement. It is Marquee.
Yeah.
Is it called the Marquee?
No, it's the
Granada.
Gothic Theater. Yeah, the subs from the show, the backstage was underneath the stage.
Yeah.
And the mirrors on the wall, like,
yeah,
it was insane.
So it's like super awesome before the show because there's a sick mirror that I can sit and do my makeup in. That's like a vanity and stuff. But once the show starts, it's just shaking and it's the loudest thing of all time.
Yeah, insane.
But I guess it was just during sound check because we were the first band on the tour.
Yeah.
So why was it so loud for me? Huh. Good question.
Yeah,
but as usual, there was a lot of weed consumed by me and by Rob and by Shannon in Denver. And so that's pretty much the huge.
Trying to think what else happened.
Oh, we went to Moe's.
We did go to Moe's.
So Moe's is a barbecue spot that's down the street a little bit from the Gothic, and that was where we played one of our first headlining shows ever, and it was packed when we played it in 2015.
Dude, we should go back there.
So I want to go back really badly and play at Moe's.
Yeah, when we first started the band, we just did like a string of headlining shows, I guess.
Yeah, we did.
Run, not a tour.
It was a run or a string, but definitely not a tour.
Yeah, and so
not a full tour.
One of them went there, and that was a standout show for us.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Because it's in the same parking lot as the Gothic Theater.
Yes.
Pretty much.
But yeah, pretty much, more or less. And also just, Denver, for those of you who are not familiar with Denver's metal scene, it is, I would go as far to say that it might be the best metal scene in between the U.S. and Canada.
The world.
Like Denver is one of the top places to play a metal show in the world. The shows are always amazing.
Yeah.
Like from our first show that we ever played in Denver, there's never been a lackluster Denver show. Knock on wood, of course, but just there's something about that city that loves metal and music, and some of the best shows I've ever played personally were there. I mean, that Whitechapel show that we played maybe in 2018 was amazing.
Yep.
So many awesome shows. We actually have been back to Moe's since that headlining show. The Rivers of Nile tour went there. Mm-hmm. And it was so sick. But yeah, so that show was awesome. I mean, to be expected. It was packed. There were a ton of awesome friends there. We always see, there's a group of rad metal bands that live in Denver. So
wait, the Rivers tour played at
Moe's?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was awesome.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time. All right.
So yeah, great show. The only thing that sucks about playing Denver, there's one thing that sucks, and it's that there is always, no matter what, a super long drive after Denver. Like there's no really close place, so we never get the chance to just hang out in the city, which it would be cool if we did a tour that had like a day off after Denver or before Denver, so we could get there early or stay late and hang out with people a little longer. That's my only complaint about playing there. But other than that, it's literally one of the best cities in the world.
Yeah, because we played Utah the next day, and that's 521 miles.
Yeah, that's...
So it says 8 hours on Google, but that's for us. I mean, that's easily 12 hours.
So once you get to that side of the country, you'll either go, west or you'll go east. But if you're going west on a tour, then it's like you can just prepare for pretty much the longest drives possible. And many of those nights we do not get to hang out. So it's kind of...
And if it's in the winter, you're looking at snow.
Yep.
All sorts of crazy stuff.
Yes, which we have. I can't remember what tour it was on, but... Well, I know that Whitechapel tour actually was in the middle of winter, was in December. But I remember specifically driving that Denver to Salt Lake City. You know that kind of scary pass that's on the west side of Colorado?
100%.
In the middle of the night, driving it and like being asleep and waking up, and we're in the middle of a mountain. And I was just like, it's better if I go to sleep because I'm going to be anxious about this.
Yeah, I think that night I took a 5 hour, I was driving. Mm-hmm. I took a 5 hour energy and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. And I was kind of like sipping on another one. Oh, yeah. And then it was gone. And so I had 10 hours of energy. And dude, it was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like it sucked.
Yeah, I bet.
I felt like I was on a crazy drug ride.
Yeah, that's too much. I was
just like, so stressed out and just couldn't sleep. But I obviously drove for a long time. Yeah.
The next day in Denver, though, do you remember that show? Or the next day in Salt Lake City, do you remember the show that was happening before the Salt Lake City show?
So I think that's definitely something to talk about.
Yeah.
So we pulled up to the club and there was like an outside stage. This is on the Whitechapel tour. There's an outside stage and there's a bunch of smaller punk band. I mean, all kinds of different types of bands playing. And one of them that was playing when we first pulled up was literally, I think, 8 people just all marching to the beat of their own drum. And I'm not saying that like lightly. That's what was happening. And they had a sax player and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was more of an art exhibit.
Yeah, totally. You get those bands sometimes. It's a little more of a like art school thing than it is a music. It's more of like an installation than it is a piece of music.
Definitely. Pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, pushing the boundaries, which I always like. I like creativity. So.
And Cheney and I actually, they let us in the show. They let us in the fest.
Shout out.
I can't remember what the fest was called, but I was really happy that they let us in because it was really fun to watch and kind of walk around.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. And then I went and I grabbed a scooter, which is probably not in my best interest if you know my past. Definitely. But I just hopped right on a scooter.
Scared me.
And I went over to a sushi spot and had some sushi.
Yeah, I met you over there. Actually, you know what? I tell this to a lot of people. I like Utah. I like Salt Lake City.
Utah's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Most people bring up the Mormon thing, and obviously that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not a huge fan, but the rest of it is amazing. It's a really beautiful. What? It's a beautiful countryside, and not only that, I feel like Salt Lake City is just a cool little city.
That's awesome.
And I've had a lot of fun there.
We've also just driven through Salt Lake City on the way other places, like not on tour.
Totally.
And we've stopped and eaten there. There's always something good to eat. And, there's the movie SLC Punk, which is based in Salt Lake City, and it's a really good movie. So
there's also, there's some places in Utah I want to go. What's that popular place that like all the rich people live in Utah? Park City, I think it's called.
Oh, Park City, Utah. Haven't heard
of it.
Is that what it's called? We also went to, what's the name of that national park that Travis made us go to that one time?
That is called Bryce Canyon.
Bryce Canyon, which it's good that he made. I say that like it's a bad thing, but which a different time when Travis made us go to a national park, it actually was a bad thing, and it was scary. But this
that was
time,
in Oregon.
That was in Oregon, but this time it was gorgeous. Bryce Canyon. We went on the Intronaut tour.
Yeah, it's
on our way to Vegas,
awesome.
And it was just it was gorgeous and incredible and breathtaking.
Yeah, then one time in my old band, we had a day off and everyone went camping in Utah at Snake River.
Whoa, that's awesome!
So fun, and it was just. I just really like Utah, and I feel like it's one of a secret place.
Totally.
In the U.S.
It is. Back to the show, though. The show was awesome.
Yeah, it was a sick show.
Great show.
I remember the show.
I do, too, and there was something specific that happened during our set, but I can't really put my finger on it. I'm sure we sounded great.
All right. Well.
All right, next day.
We were in Seattle, so what kind of a drive is that?
We had a day off.
Okay. That's insane.
That was our first time back in Seattle.
Harrison had to do it.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, Harrison was driving on that tour.
That was an insane drive. That was really cool because you're going, through Wyoming a little bit and through Idaho. So there's like nothing around. So just driving in the middle of the night, the stars were incredible.
Yeah.
So I kept getting distracted.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
cool drive.
I recall doing some late night drives on my own, and the sky is amazing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you'll see lightning in the sky while you're driving through the desert or something.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, this is amazing. I'm just really grateful for that kind of stuff.
That was our first time back in Seattle since the Tech Trek blizzard that we got stuck in. So we missed playing Studio 7 on Tech Trek with Archspire and Inferi and Vulvodynia.
True.
And so it was awesome to actually make it into Seattle. And we played, I can't remember the name of the venue, but we played in like right next to the public market. Is that what it's called? Public market? Mm-hmm. Which is, the tourist area of Seattle. So it was really cool to literally just be able to walk around that area.
Yeah, like the first Starbucks is right there.
The first Starbucks. Yeah. There's a bunch of cool restaurants. I think I got my nails done that day, which is always fantastic for me to be able to find a nail spot.
A homeless
that's within
guy
walking
wanted
distance.
to fight us. That was another
key thing that happened. Homeless guy did try to fight the band. Who did he try to? What happened?
He was not in the best mental state, but he kind of saw Rob. He was gravitating towards Rob.
Oh, okay.
So he was not stoked on Rob for some reason. And we were just kind of like, get this guy out of here, man. And then the security kind of came out and, I don't know, told him to F off. And
damn.
It was a whole thing.
It does happen sometimes,
He was not in a normal state of mind.
Yeah.
Put it that way. But that area has a lot of people who are down and out.
Yeah. Yeah. But it still got like a really rad, the actual public market area. If you walk through, it's really cool. And it's like,
Did you guys walk through there? I didn't walk through.
I did. Yeah. I'd never been there before. I've only played, why isn't the name of it coming to me? Seattle Studio. Well, I've played Studio 7 and I've also played
the other spot.
Yeah. What's it called?
It's called,
Wait, Studio 7 is the one that's kind
Studio
of shut down now.
Studio 7 is shut down, but there's also another. I want to say Ace of Spades, but it's not.
No,
Ace
it's
of
the
Spades.
place that we were supposed to play with Jake Lloyd's band.
It's like it's the place.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why this is escaping me. We played there with Dillinger. We played there with Archspire.
I've played there a million times.
Yeah, millions of times. It's not Hawthorne. Why can't I think of this? I feel really Archspire and Entheos, Seattle. El Corazon. Duh.
Yeah, of course.
Jeez Louise. Yes. So I'd only been to El Corazon in Studio 7, and playing this venue in Public Market was really cool just to be around the area. I went to a super cool bar down the street, and the show that night was awesome. It was this really cool stage that kind of like, it was almost like not quite a half circle, but it was it's like one of those stages where you can kind of walk around and see. It's like a bit, it's spherical.
It was glamorous.
Yes, it was glamorous.
I feel like that was a glamorous night.
It was. And it was just a super fun show. Cool venue.
Let's see what else? Oh, yeah, we had to park like a couple miles away, or like a mile away.
Yeah, we did.
So we rode rental bikes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun, though.
That was actually really fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, and I didn't go to the first Starbucks. I should have. It was right there.
I didn't either.
I just
We'll be back.
didn't go.
We'll be back.
To go.
We'll be back soon.
Got a little terrorizer.
What was the next night?
The next night was
Portland.
Okay, that's an easy drive. Shooting on down
What
to Portland.
venue did we play? Dante's?
Hawthorne Theater.
Oh, we played Hawthorne. Yeah, we did. We totally did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we played Hawthorne Theater. I went down. There are some cool shops on that road that Hawthorne's on, and then there's the grocery store across the street. So I think that I just went down to that. There's a place that's like a theater restaurant bar thing that I just kind of hit every time I'm near Hawthorne. We went there when we visited Lucas. It's just on that street.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
So I went there, and we've been playing Hawthorne for years and years.
Yep.
And
we had some friends come to the show.
Yes, Christy and Nicole, some friends of ours, came out to the show. That was a fun night. We kind of hung in the small bar at the front of Hawthorne.
Yep.
A lot that night.
We hung out.
That was an awesome show too. The only thing that kind of sucks about Hawthorne is that our merch was like right near it's the front of the stage essentially, so it's kind of hard to get to. But other than that, it's a rad venue to play.
So yeah, Shannon was getting blasted with loud music all night.
Loud music, just right in her ear.
That's what she signed up for, I guess.
That's the contract.
That's the thing that is kind of a bummer when they put the merch right near the PA.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they have to hear this every night that loud. But it doesn't happen that much.
Merch people, I think, probably prefer most of the time to not have to be in with the music just because it hurts your ears.
Yeah.
It is cool to see. You want to see the set of the bands, a few times. A couple times. But then, it starts hurting your ears and stuff.
So then we had a day off. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
We went and got Indian food. Remember that, Shani?
Oh, yeah. Us and Shannon.
Uh-huh.
We got an Airbnb in Sacramento. And it was a rad Airbnb. We did our laundry. Naveen and I had there was a guest house in the back.
That was
And then there
awesome.
was a sick house in front. Naveen's mom came over the day before the show, and we just kind of hung out and
it was really
got
nice.
bomb
And
Indian food.
the Airbnb also had food. Like eat the food. Eat the food in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made a fantastic breakfast.
Yeah, they had like pizzas and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it was that's the real jam, is to get an Airbnb on tour instead of like 3 or 4 hotel rooms. I like to get an Airbnb if we can find something that's sick.
And if we have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we did do that again in Austin.
And we got the sickest Airbnb possible in Austin.
And that sucked because we had so little time.
We got there so late.
Know,
it had a pool, it had a hot tub, and we just couldn't use anything because we got it there so late.
That's kind of what tour is like.
Yeah.
You're like, look at how cool this could be if I had time to do it. And then you have to go.
That's tour. You get the sickest Airbnb possible, and you can't even use any aspect of it.
I found that not drinking on tour helped with that. Because you don't want to Like for me personally, if I'm drinking, I want to like hang. You know, I'm like, no, we can't go. We're having fun. You know, and then, but if I'm just like sober, it's like, yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, it's like this isn't fun. Actually,
I don't care.
So then we played Sacramento, right?
Yep.
And Naveen's family came to the show. That was a great show.
Yeah, it was really fun.
We went to eat at the spot across the street. We met a bunch of people at merch, which every night, I mean, I feel like that goes without saying, but we met a ton of people on the Whitechapel tour. Yep. I just pretty much, after we play, I have fun like hanging out at merch. So I'll just go and chill at merch with Shannon and, you know, hang out. So it was awesome just meeting a bunch of people. It's always awesome meeting a bunch of people on tour.
Let's see. Anything else eventful happen? We got our trailer lights fixed.
In Sacramento?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we needed them fixed, and then directly across the street from our Airbnb was
a mechanic. Yeah. Which that's...
And they were like, yeah, all we did was clean off the connector. You idiot.
Yeah. And then the next day we played LA. Now I'm just spinning it off the top of my head. Yeah. And that was at the Regent. Metal Blade was there. The Regent isn't... There's something about the stage that makes it not like my favorite stage setup to play for some reason, but I love playing there. You got a tattoo that day.
I got tattooed that day. Yeah. I got a pizza tattoo.
You want to pull it out? Show everyone the pizza tattoo that you got.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I have multiple pizza tattoos. Let's see.
That's the tattoo we got that night by Sarah Joanne, who we've had on the podcast before.
I got another one too.
You gotta get that sleeve.
More to come. I like to get. I want to get pizza tattoos on tour.
Yeah, it's your pizza tattoos on tour sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
So, yeah, I got a pizza tattoo that day. My brother came to the show.
Your brother came to the show. We saw everyone from Metal Blade. Our manager, one of our managers, came to the show. Mike Torres. We saw Mike Torres, who is our old school sound guy.
Yeah,
and
gave him his start.
His girlfriend, Courtney, works at the Regent. So if you ever go to the Regent and you see Courtney, tip her very well. Because she works damn hard for that money. Giving you bomb drinks.
But I believe that was a pretty good show, right?
That was a great show. Yeah. I don't think there was a not good show on this.
Yeah, I know.
So we're going back and forth between really great and really great show. Like every show was awesome.
No, that was a great show. That was a good time.
There was no not great show on this tour.
My man from Axis was there.
Oh yeah, Zed.
Mm-hmm.
That was sick.
And also, I feel like somebody from Metal Blade was there, like taking video of us.
Oh yeah,
or
Stephanie.
Something.
Wait.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we had some pictures taken that night.
And she was like taking pictures of me getting a tattoo and stuff.
Totally. There are pictures of that.
Okay. Where are those at?
They're somewhere in a folder. We should pull them out.
I want to see them.
The next day, though, I got to be honest, I think the next night was my favorite show of the entire tour.
Yeah, that was
at the Observatory in Anaheim.
Santa
Yeah, that place was huge.
That was fucking crazy. That was crazy. It was like one of the coolest nights. The backstage room was amazing. There was an awesome weed store down the street. I got laced up with
that
weed.
Place wins me over every time because of the amount of parking.
Ample parking at the Observatory in Santa Ana.
You could park any vehicle there. I mean, literally, you could land a jumbo jet there.
And I have to be like, the crowd was just on fire that night. The crowd was just really going off, and like it's awesome playing a bunch of good shows. There are so many good shows that we get to play. There's some shows though that you're like, God damn, this is like what this is.
This is what I signed up for.
I can't.
This is what I want.
If I could go back and tell, 12-year-old Cheney who's starting to get into metal, that this is what you're going to be doing someday, I just wouldn't believe that shit. There's no way. There's no way I would ever believe it. That show was incredible. There were so many people there. It was just a great night. We had some drinks with Archspire. I was hanging out with all of them. Justin McKinney from the Zenith Passage, Scott Carstairs, Fallujah, all of our homies were there. Chasen, who's in Brand of Sacrifice now. A bunch of our friends were just with us hanging out in our van after the show, and it was just like one of those nights. It was
so fun.
It was a very special night.
And the merch was outside on like a lounge kind of outdoor area.
Yeah.
So it was just really fun to be out there and just to be hanging out, mingling and stuff.
Totally. Eric was there. Eric's in the chat right now. It was great to see him. We've gone to shows at the Observatory. I think the first show that we ever saw there was Noisia.
Yeah.
At the Observatory in the small room since way before we were even a band.
Yeah.
Because we used to live in LA.
Is that when we came down for that show?
Okay. Yeah, that might, when we lived in California. We lived in LA.
But it was shortly
after.
But
anyway, it was shortly after that. And so when you get to play places like that, it's really like a pinch yourself type moment. We've played the small room with Intronaut, and that was crazy because like one of the guys from Tool was at that show, and that was insane.
Yeah, like the bass player, I think.
Yeah. And so the Observatory show was just like, it was just one of those shows. There's no other way to put it.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was great. Next night, Arizona.
Yep.
Wow, I can remember every show. I'm just doing this off of the top of my head.
Wow.
That Arizona show, we went to that awesome Mexican restaurant down the street.
Right. That day was hot.
Oh, it was so fucking hot.
Yeah. That venue was cool, though. That they had a basketball court right outside.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was a wedding party happening next door.
Yes.
And I was watching them set up, and I kind of wanted to be like, your guys' wedding is about to get ruined right now.
Yeah. I wonder how it sounded in there.
Loud, obviously.
The last time that we
had to be.
The last time that we played there before this was with Archspire, and we were playing the basement, and Code Orange was playing the upstairs.
Yeah, remember that? When we were playing, it was like...
Yeah, you could just hear the upstairs so fucking loud. It was crazy.
Like in between songs, it was like...
Yeah. Yeah, it was nuts.
I was like, what the hell?
I know. But it was an awesome show, so the merch was in the basement that day.
They weren't having a show that day in the basement.
Right, yeah.
So that was... Yeah, that was...
That was actually sick. Vicky from The Agonist came out to the show. It was great to meet her. We're like internet friends.
Yeah.
So it was cool to meet her. We got that awesome Mexican food. There was a cool backstage that was like a basement type area.
Johnny was there.
Johnny was there. Johnny Davey.
That was also the day the Axe Effects broke. Like everyone gathered around trying to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Axe Effects? I don't know about these things.
Brian's Axe Effects broke.
Really?
But it was like the display that broke.
Yeah.
And I think it still worked, but with no display. Something like that.
God.
That's why he wanted to use the shock absorbent rack or whatever.
Oh, got you.
Shock mount.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a great day. Phoenix, Arizona, Bismarck. Yeah. Phoenix, Arizona.
It was fun. It was hot that day.
Oh,
it's freaking hot.
That's how Phoenix is. It's always hot during the day and it's freezing ice cold at night. And there are a bunch of cats running around the streets all the time.
Yeah, I remember trying to take a nap that day in the van, and I was like, this is just not happening. It's just a sweat box.
Not a thing.
And then we had a day off, apparently, and then we went to Austin.
Yeah, because that drive was miserable.
Yeah, that's really fucked.
Oh, remember the Austin show? So the Austin show was outside.
Oh, man.
It started raining. So Shannon had our merch set up, in Duber, who does merch for Signs of the Swarm. All of our merch was kind of set up like there's a staircase thing or a patio that blocks a lot of the merch area, but ours was set up a little outside of that area.
It was like under a staircase, literally Harry Potter stairs.
Dude, it just there was a rainstorm and it just got pummeled with rain.
It was just
shot with
water falling on the merch.
Yeah.
And I had my phone out and I was just taking a video of it and I put it in my story. And Paul actually responded from BT Bam.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, every time we play there, it's a torrential downpour.
Really?
I was like, what the hell? It's an outdoor venue.
Oh, yeah. So, but it was cool because it was I caught another scooter on down to, what's it called? 6th?
Yeah.
So 6th is like the main drag of Austin. You know, if people go to South by Southwest, a lot of it's on 6th. And the Comedy Mothership, which is Joe Rogan's club that a lot of my favorite comedians, like Kill Tony, is shot there. A lot of stuff that I like is there. So I wanted to catch a scooter down to the Comedy Mothership.
Janie, it was like your mecca.
It was like my mecca. Yeah. One of my meccas.
I wish we could go to a show there.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a show there eventually. Yeah. But so I went and I only could see the outside of it. It wasn't open until that night, and I got some drinks down the street, and then I walked back over to the venue, and that was an awesome night. We like partied with Archspire that night.
Yeah, we had a good time that night.
Austin is a goddamn good time.
Come on,
man.
Austin is so fun.
Such a fun time.
It's like almost as cool as Nashville.
Yeah. It's like right there. It's like, it's second, but.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun that night for sure.
We did.
Too much fun.
We had a little too much fun. I might have so we did have the day off. We did have the day off right before that. That's what we were talking about. And then we pulled up to this badass Airbnb that was like it's one of those like loft area. What are those called? They call them tall and skinnies in Nashville, but
it was like a new development
townhouse.
With
townhouse. There we go. So it was
like 4 or 5 or 6 of them maybe.
And they were all Airbnbs, and they all had a sick pool. And I was just like, I'm gonna stoke my crew out and buy this Airbnb with a pool and a hot tub and
but
laundry.
It just took so long to get there that we didn't get there till like late at night.
Yeah, we didn't get there till late, and we couldn't use the freaking pool.
We couldn't do anything.
I tried.
Harrison tried, but we did wash our clothes, so that's.
I think we also did a shotgun too.
Yep.
Yeah, we did a shotgun. We got there.
We'll be getting some Airbnbs on this Lorna Shore run.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
We're going to get Airbnbs. All be so close together, yeah.
Let's get a hot tub.
Yeah, we're getting a freaking hot tub in a Jersey. Maybe we'll stay at the Jersey Shore house. I'm going to look up how much that costs. Invite Snooks over.
And then...
so after Austin, what was that?
Dallas.
I remember that day.
Dallas.
You remember that day?
What venue was it at?
It was...
it's at that venue we've never been to before. It's called the Granada.
Yeah. It was really nice.
That was an awesome venue. They had great catering.
Yeah.
Fantastic catering. A little weird on the setup because it's like the
it's kind of nowhere to go.
No, the rows. Do you remember how that was? It was like there was a small row and then a fence thing, and then there was another small row and a fence thing and another third small one. So there's the mosh pit thing. People did mosh, but it was nearly impossible to mosh because it was a weird little area. But it was a fucking awesome show. Dan DeFonce was there, our booking agent.
Yeah, very professional venue.
Yeah, super cool.
And it was all of our stuff was out back. Another rain situation.
Right, yes.
But all of it was underneath of easy ups.
True.
Tents.
That was a good night.
If you don't know what an easy up is.
Then it's similar to a tent.
And again, great parking.
That's something, these are all things that we look for.
That's my thing. Where are we going to park?
Well, people might not realize this aspect of tour. It's like when you get to a venue, if you're playing like New York City, if you're playing New York City at the Gramercy, on the Whitechapel tour, we got so damn lucky because we found parking literally right next to the venue. But normally we're parking like 2 miles away. And you better grab all your shit because you're not going to make the walk.
I mean, there's a Seinfeld episode about this.
Really?
Parking. Yeah. He's like, he's got such a good spot that he never wants to move his car again.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
See, being from Iowa, I'm used to ample parking.
Yeah.
Like there is not a place that you're going to go. Even if you go downtown, there we have parking lots there because it's such a small downtown. But Naveen is from a place, or you're from Santa Cruz, there's parking there, but you lived in San Francisco where there's virtually no parking. So when we started dating, and even to this day, I will complain about how far Naveen will park away from a place like Walmart. Like he'll park all the way in the back of the freaking parking lot because he's used to, it's like parking disparity or something.
I don't know if there's a word for it.
Yeah, it's called like parking famine. That's what you have.
There's a parking scarcity.
Parking scarcity model.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think about to this day when we go to a show or something. I'm like, wow, look at this parking spot. Yeah, this is great. Yeah. When we went to the show the other night, the Inferior show. Oh yeah. I was like, we're like one block away from the club. Yeah. This is amazing.
Seriously.
So yeah, it was pretty much from my decade of living in the Bay Area.
Which that Inferior show was tight, man. That was a good show. Yeah, we saw the other day.
We did go to that the other day.
What was the next?
Okay, so Dallas, we left out of Dallas.
I went to Little Rock for an off-day show.
Which was super sick.
Little Rock.
Really good time.
It
was at a pizza place.
Yeah, we had pizza. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was just us and Signs of the Swarm.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We met some people. Good show. Can't complain.
Archspire came.
Yeah.
Archspire. See, this is the thing about our off-day shows.
They're so obsessed with us. They had to come to every
loves us
so
show. Much, and I'm sure that Dean could vouch for this if he were around right now. They love us so much that they had to come to all of our off-day shows.
Well, they were planning on going to like a water park or something.
Yeah.
And then we got to the show and we asked them where they were. They're like, we're sitting in a Walmart parking lot like 40 minutes away.
Come to the
show.
Why
do that?
Dude, come on down. I'm like, all right, yeah.
So their sound guy, Miles, was doing our sound. I mean, he was our sound guy as well on the tour. So it kind of worked out for us that they would just come to the shows. And they were carrying the lighting rig. So
yeah, they were carrying the
lights.
We
looked way cooler when Archspire showed up.
Yep. So we really wanted them to show
that night.
Not only because they're our friends, but we
love being around them too.
We did.
So Spencer, I remember, was up front that night, like getting drunk and just like jamming out, which that was awesome.
Man, I miss those guys.
I miss the fuck out of those guys, dude.
How many shows do you think we played with them? 100?
Nah, we've done 3 tours with them.
Yeah.
Pretty damn close.
We should add it up.
Probably like 60 or 70.
We should. It's got to be more than that. Europe was probably like what?
100?
30?
No, tours are never 30 days long.
25?
Regardless, I just want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
I will say a couple more things about the show. I think Archspire was like the most hype in the crowd during that. Spencer was screaming at Rob during the show.
Yeah.
And they were just like talking while playing on stage.
They were hyping.
And then you were like throwing in some like gravity blast just
for
fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Good show.
And we were all drinking that day.
We were drinking.
By the way, full disclosure.
We were drinking.
Yeah, we were.
There were some drinks to be had.
And yeah, because there was a parking lot across the street and we were all parked over there. And Archspire's bandwagon was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And what was
then we're getting close to the end of the tour.
We are.
St. Louis.
Okay.
Pops?
St. Louis was sick. It was that big fucking venue.
Oh, dude, it was the red flag. Yeah. Of course, because you got Rob a red flag shirt.
Did I get him the shirt?
Yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did.
Or a hoodie.
I have not seen him wear that since then.
Because I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's his. So Rob always talks about red flags.
Yeah.
And so we had to get him that shirt,
if you will.
Dude, that venue is so cool though. It's like a new venue and it's across from where Foo Bar was. Yeah. And so the backstage is, what are those called? Like little houses?
Yeah, it has like containers.
Yeah, containers. So the entire backstage is made out of containers, and like you go up these stairs and there are 2 like done up containers that you're backstage in, and there's like a patio area. Did you watch the show from that area?
I didn't watch most of the show, but I went up there for backstage and stuff and saw sound check and stuff. It was super sick up there.
Dude, it was so sick. So you had like the perfect view of the stage from the patio up there, and I went to, there was like a bar across the street where I had a couple of drinks early in the day. The crowd was awesome. I watched a lot of Whitechapel's set that night. They sounded so goddamn sick. Whitechapel is really one of the best live bands out there, in my opinion. Brandon Cagle has them just ripping, sounding so good. But yeah, that was a really fun night. I hung out with Shannon at merch a lot of that night. Met a bunch of people as usual. It's just that place was a cool setup.
Oh, and they had Whitechapel bought us food that day.
Oh yeah. Here's something you guys should know about Whitechapel. These guys are good guys.
Yeah. On the last day, the second to last day, they buy everybody food, catering.
Yes.
And it was
tacos.
Yeah, tacos. And they had veggie stuff. Remember that? Did you have that?
Yeah,
it was so good. It was like jackfruit carnitas or something.
Totally.
So good.
And not every headlining band that you'll go out with, you know, every headlining band has their own special thing that they do. Whitechapel, they buy a meal for everyone the last day of tour. They did it the last tour that we did together. It's just very kind of them. It's a very awesome thing of a headlining band to do to the other support bands, to be like, hey, thank you guys so much for doing this tour, to show that they appreciate everyone who's been on the tour. And that was just it's really fucking rad of those guys to do. So shout out Whitechapel for being that kind of headlining band.
And they did it on the last tour that we did too.
They did.
Yeah. The second to last day.
Yep. Because you know why? The last day, everyone's trying to do their own shit.
Yeah, definitely.
And the last day, so the last day of the last tour was in Knoxville, which is their hometown.
That was actually the Christmas show.
That was the first Christmas show that we did. And the last day of this last tour was also one of those shows like the Santa Ana show that's just like cemented in the history of my brain forever.
That was one of the best days of my life.
My entire life. And I can't wait until the next time that we, playing Nashville on that tour was amazing. Playing it on Revocation was amazing. And I can't wait until the next time we play Nashville, because I've just fucking love this city, man.
And now that we live here, we feel definite kinship.
There's a kinship
to the city.
And
the show was huge.
It was crazy.
It was like 2,500 people there.
Sold out. Marathon Music Works.
Yeah. It was
in Nashville.
Oh, man.
A venue that we've seen Cannibal Corpse at. The big dogs are headlining this place. Whitechapel.
And then we had a baller backstage.
Oh, we had the coolest backstage.
Yeah. We had tons of friends there.
Yep.
It was super fun. I last minute grabbed all the camera stuff, like all this podcast shit. And I was like, we're going to make some fucking live videos.
Yeah. Fuck it. Any live video that you see from that tour is coming out from that show. And we didn't get all the sickest angles. Like, we didn't get an angle on the pit just because Naveen pulled it all together completely last minute.
Yeah, last minute. But it looked awesome. It turned out just so badass.
It really did. And God, that show was just so awesome. It was completely packed when we went on stage. That day I was nervous. I was like, damn, a lot of my friends are here. A lot of these golden lobsters are here. We better rip it.
Yeah, a lot of golden lobsters showed up.
Amber and Lizzie and Narlos were in the front row. It was fucking fun. And Amber and Lizzie held up a red flag on their phones when I asked everyone to hold up, I asked people during I'm the Void to pull out their phones and turn on the flashlight, and Amber and Lizzie pulled out red flags and pointed them at Rob. So in I Am the Void, there's a live video up on the Entheos YouTube channel. You should go check it out if you haven't. But there's a part.
We're gonna link that.
Yeah, we'll link it. There's a part at the very beginning where Naveen's looking out in the crowd and cracking up, and then kind of looking over to Rob, and it's because Amber and Lizzie have the red flags up on their phones.
Yeah.
But that show, I mean, dude, that show's like going down in history as one of the best shows for our band of all time.
Hard to top that.
It's hard to top it. And still thinking about it, I want to cry, because, like I said, you'll play a lot of good shows, but some shows you're just like, I made the right decision. Yeah. I made the right decision. Following this really crazy life, doing all this shit.
Validating.
Yeah. Dedicating my life to this thing, this crazy thing that people will try to turn you off the path and be like, don't do that.
I know.
We made the right decision.
Yeah.
And shows like that, tours like that, just really, really, they're reassuring.
It's really tours like that. The whole tour. You're just like, I fucking did the right thing here.
You're just like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, everything's just
How'd
going
this
great.
happen to me?
Yeah, 100%. And then we had a fucking party at the house after the show, dude.
There were a lot of golden lobsters at that show. Thank you so much to everyone who came out to that, because it was a really special night. I still have a picture. I'm going to get it printed out so we can put it on the wall of all the golden lobsters who came out to that. And hopefully in the future, Naveen and I have been talking a lot about doing some kind of golden lobster gathering in Nashville, trying to figure out something. So I hope that we can just continue to build on that group that was there, because, the podcast has been cool doing it. We've loved doing it for these, I guess it's been almost, 3.5 years. 3.5 years. It's been great to do, but the coolest thing to come out of this has been the golden lobster community. Those of you who are coming out to shows and you're like, I listen to the podcast, and you're a part of this like inner circle now. And we are your friends, you're our friends. It's become more than just a podcast and just a band. And this community is like the coolest fucking thing to come from it. And having all of you guys in one place is just, it's so cool to see. Yeah. It's crazy. You know, Harrison's there. All of you guys are there. It's just so fun. And I hope that we can continue to build on that and to get all of us together and to plan stuff out, you know, a year in advance to give everyone a chance to get the money together to come to Nashville and hang out. So we will be doing something. We just need to figure out how exactly to do it.
Yeah, we're thinking about maybe getting a big Airbnb.
Yeah.
Maybe having a Entheos play as well.
Yeah,
just have
some kind of show.
Wouldn't that be sick, man?
That'd be insane.
And then, you know, some kind of show, whether it be at the end and we do something special, like, you know, play an album in full, or, you know, we'll do some kind of special set and then shoot a podcast at the Airbnb, of course, a live podcast. But essentially just have a weekend that's about all of us hanging out.
Gotta do that.
But yeah, so that Nashville show and then having the party.
Yeah, so then Channy and I were like, dude, fuck it, we're having a party at the house afterwards. And we invited basically everybody from the tour who wanted to come.
Yeah.
Like Ben from Whitechapel and his wife Jill came over. Freaking Archspire pulled up in their bandwagon, which is like a small bus. And I was like, just park it on the lawn.
Yeah.
They just parked it in the lawn. Just anybody who wanted to come was there. We had some Golden Lobster fam in the house.
Yes, we did.
All of our friends who live nearby.
Yep.
And it was just like a surreal night.
I called and ordered $300 worth of Roma pizza and pasta.
Such a baller
We've talked about this on the podcast, but dude, that's the ultimate party move.
Just like boom, all the food gets there. Everyone's like, yeah.
You just order a shitload of food. You don't care. I picked out a bunch of shit. I was like, okay, you know, cheese pizza, pepperoni, whatever, chicken tenders, whatever. You grab it all and you get it delivered to the house, and then it just shows up and everyone freaks out hype. And will eat it.
I don't think any food got thrown away.
No, not any.
Everyone ate. It was just such a good time.
It was such a good time, and it was the best way to cap off.
Oh yeah, and then Dean comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you guys got to take these lights." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, because they're huge. They're in these big ass cases, and I'm like, "I don't have anywhere to put that. What are you talking about?" And then I kind of just ignored him for a while, and then he comes back up and he's like, "Yo, man, I know you really don't want to deal with this right now, because I've been like drinking all day. I'm like just party mode, having hella fun."
Yeah.
It's like, I know you don't want to deal with this, man, but you got to take the light rig. Like, we have whatever, the original plan for it to get picked up didn't work, and we had to take it. So I was like, all right, let's go check out my shed. And dude, seriously, all the guys in Archspire, Spencer kind of leading the pack, just started manned up and just fucking moved everything out of the way in my shed. And we just put all the light rigs in there, and then a truck came and got them a couple days later. So,
and that was the end of the
really
tour.
Wasn't that big of a deal, but it was just kind of a funny little event.
And that was the end of the tour, man. Yeah. So I'm glad that we went through and talked about that tour. We finally wrapped up the second half of what was it called? The Valley Tour.
Yeah.
So
which I played on, by the way.
Yeah, which Naveen played on the Valley Tour. That's true. Or you played on the Valley album.
Yeah.
By Whitechapel.
Kind of funny that I was there.
So check out that album. Check out our album. Time Will Take Us All. Make sure to get that shit on your year-end list or whatever.
Yeah, I guess we'll just end it there.
We're going to end it there.
Yeah, I'm glad we got through that.
I'm glad we got through it. Have a great week, you guys. That was actually fun
for me to recant what happened.
Next week, we'll talk about the Revocation and Unearthed tour.
Why not?
Date by date.
Why not? Let's go.
All right. Have a good week, y'all. We fucking love you.
All right, see you next week, everybody.
And stick around for the post show.